don't know what that is doing. Hey, what is up? I just realised that in the background is my meds and I actually need to take those. So thank God I started recording because I almost forgot. Why can't I do the most simplest of tasks? Ignore the eyes. They're annoying. I know. I'll explain that later. There's a lot to talk about. Yeah, if you guys don't follow my Instagram, you should, because they usually get updated first on everything that's happening. And because I haven't posted on here in a while, some of you might be asking what the fuck happened. I have posted on my community page on YouTube to let people know, but honestly, who checks the community page? But I'm finally feeling confident enough to make this video. I'll explain everything in detail too, so if you don't want to have all the gruesome details and even the most embarrassing details, just don't bother watching this video, because I'm not going to be one of those people that say they're going to give you a story time and then not give you all the juicy details. That's boring. I feel like an explanation is deserved, seeming as though I've been posting motovlogs since I first got my bike. And before you ask, yes, I was being legal. This entire time when I crashed, I was being legal. Okay? Although this accident was entirely my fault. Because I'm stupid. I'm very dumb. If you couldn't tell already, if you've been following my channel for a while, you would know. I lack a couple, you know? Cool. There is also some information that came through about a week ago about the arrest situation. So I'll update you on that too at the end. But let's get into the crash, since I know that's probably what you're here for. So about a week before the accident, I got my second ever bike because, as you probably know if you followed my channel for a while, my other bike, my first bike, got taken from the police into impoundment until my court date. So, but they didn't take my license away from me until court. So, I bought another bike. I posted one motovlog on it. One motovlog on that bike. That entire week that I had that bike, I was being really good. Like, I was actually behaving myself. But yet, when I was doing all the speeding, the wheelies, and yada 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 with my first bike, I never crashed it. Never. This second bike, I had it for a week. I crashed it twice. Twice. On the Saturday, I got the bike, right? And then I rode it all day Sunday, and then I rode it to work Monday, and I crashed it on the way home from work on Monday. It was just a simple low side, didn't hurt too much. I was pretty much okay. I just slammed my hip into the ground, but it didn't really do anything. It was the most minute accident ever. But the clutch broke off, so I had to buy a new clutch, which I did. We went back Saturday morning. Yep, we went back to work Saturday morning and replaced the clutch. So finally I could get back on the road again. I was so excited. I went to a group ride Saturday night. It was great. So happy. And then I was like, you know what? I want to go out Sunday too. That Sunday is June 1st. And that was the day that this happened. And now, as you can see, I'm in a wheelchair. Ignore the plates, I just had my dinner. But and all this. I had that bike for a week. I was being completely legal that entire time. Completely. I was good. I was actually good. And I crashed twice. But yet, when I was hooning and doing wheelies and speeding, like going 180 down the highway, like maxing out my R3. Maxing out my R3. And yet, I crash when I'm being completely legal and I almost die. So that's kind of caught you up to speed of what my week was like before the accident. June 1st, woke up, was just getting ready for the day, getting ready for my ride. I was going out with Nate. Pretty sure I've done videos with him before. He's like one of my best friends. And yeah, he came over to my house and we got ready to go for a ride. I took a couple pictures before we went out for a ride, subtle foreshadowing, and then yeah, we left my house and headed towards Marvel Stadium in Melbourne. Melbourne. And I vlogged that entire trip from my house to Marvel Stadium. It all went well, but I refuse to look at the footage, which means it probably won't ever be posted. It's just like subtle foreshadowing for what was going to happen later that day. Me and Nate were just talking, and then we were like, you know what? Let's keep riding. Let's just go somewhere else. Go for another ride. Why not? So we decided to go from Marvel Stadium to Mornington Pier. And that's when the crash happened. So I stopped vlogging, turned off the camera, and I called Nate, and yeah, we headed off towards Mornington Pier. We were riding along Beach Road, right, when the accident happened. I don't actually remember anything up to the crash. I remember leaving Marvel Stadium. I don't remember ever getting out of the city. All this information is being brought to you by Nate. He was following me and we were riding along Beach Road. And if you can't tell by the name of the road, there's a beach to the side of it. And as we're riding along it, I look over to the beach. And I've always had a big zoning out problem. I noticed it a lot in school, but yeah, I never thought it would be this bad. I never thought it would be this big of a deal. Because yeah, I looked over at the beach and Nate said I just zoned out. Simple as that. I was staring at the beach and I couldn't zone back in. I couldn't look forward again. And Nate was screaming down the headphones to me that there was a car ahead of me and to look where I was going. And I just couldn't seem to zone back in. The car was turning into a car park. And obviously I didn't know that. And as that car was going to turn, he was obviously stopped in the road and I wasn't stopped. The speed limit's like 60 along there, so I was going around 50 kilometers per hour because again, I was being extra safe since I didn't want to get caught again while awaiting my court trial, because I wanted to be extra safe. I wanted to make sure I didn't even go 1 kilometer over the limit. So I was going under the limit. Nate said that he just watched me roll up to this car at 50 kilometers per hour, slam into the back of it. I slammed into the back of this car as I was zoned out looking at the beach. He said that last second, I started to move my head, but I didn't even get my head fully to the front before hitting the car. My crotch and everything went straight up against the tank. We'll get into the injuries later, but also I went over the handlebars and my head went through their rear windshield. So Nate immediately panics. He gets off his bike and he runs over to me. First thing he does is hold my head still. And I can't thank him enough for that, because that could have saved a lot of further injury due to what I had happen, which I will explain. The car did nothing wrong. They were indicating, they were doing everything right. I was completely in the wrong. Completely. The bike's destroyed. Like, for a 50 kilometer per hour crash, that bike was toast. There was fluid all over the ground. Not only that, there was quite a lot of blood on the ground. The pool of blood was just getting bigger, and the fuel, the brake fluid, the oil, everything's just everywhere. There's shattered glass from their back windshield. So it was a bit of a mess. And then the ambulance finally pull up, and Nate's still laying there, holding my head still. I cannot thank him enough for what he did for me, and I'm still so sorry for the shit that he had to see, especially in this next bit. The ambulance came over with scissors to cut off my gear. So they were cutting off my gear, and yeah, I had bones sticking out from my lower abdomen in quite a few places, I'm pretty sure. And yeah, so I'm very sorry, Nate. That's why there was such a pool of blood there. But Nate stayed there at the site, yeah, just to get all the information, yada yada yada, that kind of thing. Stay as a witness, basically. And I'm just gonna put this in, not because it's really anything to do with the crash, but just because it meant so much to me. After everyone had gone, I have a stalking app, kinda, where with all my biking friends, you guys probably know it, the Life 360, and it came up that there was a crash detected. So 2 of my riding buddies pulled up on the scene. Don't worry, they parked away from the scene just to make sure that they didn't get in anyone's way. And then they came over and was there because they came as quick as they possibly could and tried to see if I was okay. Unfortunately, I was already gone in the ambulance, but I have so much respect for them. Those 2 people were Anna and Faris. I don't know if I've recorded with Anna before, actually, but she's lovely. And then there's Faris. So, yeah, that shit's crazy. The fact that they like got so quick to that scene too, because the ambulance was pretty quick. From I think, I don't know, but yeah, insane. Anyway, moving on. The rest of this is probably gonna be mostly hospital document type gist, because I didn't actually become conscious until a week after the crash. I was awake and talking, but I have no memory of it. I'm so glad I wasn't texting anybody. The only person I texted was my girlfriend. This was the message that she got, maybe I am still a bit, but you know, this is a message that she got, and yeah, so kind of glad that nobody else except for her got a message. Yeah, I was high on those pain meds and probably dealing with a bit of mental trauma, but that's okay. Some head trauma, but you know, that's okay. So yeah, all this is gonna be mostly medical documents because again, don't really remember much of it. So I got to the hospital and I had my first surgery. I had 3 surgeries in total. I had one on June 1st, one on June 2nd, and one on June 3rd. I got to the hospital around 3 p.m. On June 1st. And yeah, I went into surgery to fix myself up and tidy it up a bit. I don't know exactly what surgeries were for what, but from memory they're all pretty big surgeries and I don't remember what exactly went where. You know what, let's go through the injuries first actually. That would make more sense. So when my lower region decided to slam up against the tank, my pelvis was absolutely shattered, hence the wheelchair. I can't walk because my pelvis is destroyed. And because of that pelvis being destroyed, there was bones everywhere. I had bones sticking out of my body. I had my first boner. You didn't even know that, but I thought I'd share because you know what? We like the juicy details here. We like to say everything. So yeah, I had a bone just going straight out the cooch. First boner. Hell yeah. Winning, I think. I don't know. So yeah, I had a couple bones sticking out, yada yada yada. And somehow, I don't know how, invest in a good helmet, please. Like, I don't care who you are, I don't care how broke you are, get a good fucking helmet. Get a good helmet. And if you don't have a good helmet, don't ride. Because my god. I don't know how, but I walked away with no visible brain damage. And when they tested me, when I eventually became conscious, for signs of concussion, I had no signs of concussion. None. My head went through a rear window. What do you mean I had no brain damage? Buy a good helmet. Because how does that even... How? I either have a really thick skull, really small brain, or really good helmet. Don't know which option out of those 3. Maybe it might be a combination, but yeah. And as you can see here, this side of my face is a bit cut up, and it was for quite a while. I still have a bit under my lip. It's still healing. And yeah, I'm looking over at the beach because we were on the left side, looking at the beach, and because I was late at looking, I hit this side of my face. My tooth and everything through my chin, and yeah. So I got a giant scar here now, which is always fun. We love that. Yeah, and I have a couple lesions inside of my mouth because of, again, my tooth just bashing really hard. I have a couple scars on my neck because, again, my head went through a rear window. I was wearing full gear, helmet, jacket, pants, gloves, boots, the lot. I was wearing all of it. So the only place that wasn't protected was my neck. So when my head went through this rear window, it got a bit cut up from the glass, of course. So yeah, I got a couple scars on my neck. And then also, because my head did go so heavily into this rear window, my neck ligaments did actually tear a bit and strain quite a lot. I had a high, what did it say on the paper? High something strain. A really bad strain is basically what I'm trying to say. And a partial tear in my neck. So thank God for Nate for holding my neck, because yeah, it could have saved a lot more damage than what had already been done. So love you, Nate. Seriously, fucking love you. I'll put his Instagram on the screen. Go follow him. Go show him support. He just got a camera. He just got a camera. So he's gonna start making content too. Go show him some love because he fucking saved my ass. He saved my ass. Yeah, I also had a blood clot in my neck. So they were worried about me having a stroke. And that blood clot in my neck and the damage to that blood vessel also is why my eyes are like this. They said it should heal with time, but yeah, as you can see, this one's bulging. This one is a little bit smaller than usual. This one's more normal than this one, but yeah. I can't tell which one is more normal. This one's definitely smaller, and this one's definitely bigger. I don't know, but yeah, because of the blood vessel in the back of my neck was damaged. My eyes are currently different sizes. They said it should heal with time. I hope it does too, because my pupils are also different sizes. I don't know if I can show you that. Let's have a quick little look. Can you see the pupil difference? This is probably a horrible angle, but whatever. So I hope that heals with time, because I'm not a huge fan of having really uneven eyes. It is really uneven, like it's not even close to even. It's so bad. And unfortunately for my legs, I obviously couldn't walk on it for quite a while because of my pelvis damage. I had to let it heal. So I've been in a wheelchair. But because of the bones that got broken, I had a couple internal damages too from those bones severing things. Like I think I cut part of my uterus, can't remember what else, but it also severed nerves in my left side. So I currently can't feel my thigh. I can feel my calf, can't feel my thigh. So yeah, I got some nerve damage, absolute shattered pelvis, neck damage, yada yada yada, just simple things like that. Not really simple actually, that's the wrong word. It was not simple, it hurt a lot, I'm pretty sure. I don't know, I haven't really been in much pain. Anyway, yeah. So, now onto the surgeries that they did. The first surgery I went into, I'm pretty sure it was the first surgery that this happened. Again, kind of a little jumble of what happened in what surgery, but in one of my first surgeries, whichever one that was, they had to restructure my pelvis together, which was interesting because I had an X-Fix put in. I called it my metal tutu apparently, because again, I was awake and talking, not conscious, don't remember, but apparently I said that it was my metal tutu. I had a metal rod coming out of one side and another metal rod coming out of the other side and like a metal halo going around to hold my pelvis in place. You can kind of see there where it was put in. So yeah, it was that on either side. And yeah, so I had that metal tutu in, and then apparently I kept on scratching my face and then going to put my hand down and smacking it and going, ow, in my high state. So yeah, eventually in one of the other surgeries, they put all of the nuts and bolts inside of me to keep my pelvis together. And then there were some other surgeries here and there where they were just looking at things like internal damage, that kind of thing, checking my uterus to make sure it's all good, the nerve damage, that kind of thing. They were just checking me out. So, yeah. But yeah, that's all the stuff that happened really medically. Well, like, intensely medically. I'll get into some other stuff in a second, because it annoyed me. It wasn't life-threatening, but it annoyed me, and it hurt a little bit. My family were obviously there for me the whole time. I have a great family. I love them to bits. And they were there for me the whole time. You know those videos of people who get their not their tonsils, their wisdom teeth removed? And that was basically what I was like that entire week. I said some weird stuff. But anyway, let's get to when I finally come to it about a week later. Yeah. I finally started becoming conscious. And it was weird. Every time when I was younger, I thought that if you were to become unconscious, you would know, you would notice the fact that you were somewhere else and then woke up somewhere else. But it's not like that at all. At all. I don't even really know how it felt. It was really weird. Like, I don't remember what I last remembered, and I don't remember what I first remembered. It's weird. And I'm pretty sure when I woke up in the hospital, I wasn't fully aware that I was waking up in the hospital. I don't remember. So that's an interesting thing to think about. Don't know. I was kind of just accepting of the fact that I was in hospital. Like, I already knew that I was in the hospital, but I don't have any memory of it. Very strange. I don't know what that's all about, but it's something that's been on my mind a bit. So, I thought I'd share. Anyway, yeah, the hospital visit sucked. Not because of the people there, but just because I hate hospitals. I've always hated hospitals. I have a fear of hospitals, for my own reasons. Don't want to get into that, but yeah, fear of hospitals. So, I was very uncomfortable. But I must say, the nurses there are fucking incredible. Yeah. Every single one that I interacted with was fantastic. They looked after me so well, and I had some bad moments. I had moments where it was the middle of the night and I had to call the buzzer, not because I needed anything or because I was uncomfortable or I needed like pain meds or anything. It was simply just because I was panicking and breaking down and I needed someone to sit with me, just to talk to me, to distract me. And they were in there straight away and they were talking to me to get me to calm down. And then a few days later, there's a psychologist in my room making sure I'm all good. Incredible staff there. Incredible staff. And I happened to mention that my main goal was to get out of the hospital because I'm scared of hospitals. I don't feel comfortable here. I want to go home. So my main goal at the moment is just to get recovered enough to be able to get into home, to get out of hospital. And they prioritized that too, in the best way they could, basically. So they made sure I was healthy enough to go home and everything, but they diligently went from one thing to the next. Like, if one thing was healed, straight on to the next. And they'd test me for everything to make sure I was suitable to go home. And within 2.5 weeks-ish, I was home. I don't even remember most of my hospital visit because I was unconscious. Like, yeah. Incredible stuff, honestly. For what happened, I should have been in there for so much longer, but I told them what I wanted. And they were like, okay, let's fucking get you out of here. And they did that. Incredible stuff. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the unfortunate injury that happened. I noticed this when I woke up. Thankfully, it was mostly gone by the time I went home, so that was good. But yeah, because I smashed my lower region up against the tank, all I can say is thank fuck I'm not a guy. That's all I have to say to that. Sure, I had a bone sticking out down there. That's all good and well. But that wasn't the bit that hurt. Not that I remember that bit anyway, but that wasn't the bit that hurt. The bit that hurt was the size of my coochie. When it got slammed up against that tank, the swelling, huge. Dude. It was bad. It was really bad. Like, I mean, I could not put my legs together. My legs were fucking spread wide apart that entire hospital stay. I feel so sorry because they put me next to an apartment building. My window, thankfully they put me on a window so I could see outside. But right next to me was a giant apartment building. And then they look in and there's me, man-spreading in my nappy, because when I crashed, I got quite a lot of damage to my lower region, which means that I actually lost control of my bladder for quite a while. I couldn't control my bladder. So I did have a catheter in for a while. But yeah, I was wearing a nappy that entire hospital stay, so then you just look in, and I looked rough then too. Like, if you think this is rough, I looked rough. And I'm just lying there, man-spreading. Just lying in my bed, because I could not shut my legs. So yeah, I don't recommend that in the slightest. Thank God I'm a girl. And I don't know how guys live with being guys, because for the first time in my life, I had a boner and nuts. And they both suck. So like, what? And the bruises. The bruises were incredible, especially on my right thigh. My right inner thigh, black. I'll see if I can find a photo, actually. I probably have a photo somewhere. I think my mom did take a photo. Yeah. It was a big bruise and it went all the way up my thigh. So, yeah. That is basically the recap of what happened. I'll tell you all about what I've been doing during my recovery and everything in a sec. But yeah, I've gotten all my stitches out and everything now, all my stitches, all my staples, so that's good. I still obviously have all the metal bits inside of me, and I can't walk yet, if you couldn't tell. Got my wheelchair still, my trusty wheelchair. I can't put any weight through my legs, because my bone in my pelvis is still healing. So, all the nuts and bolts and everything are holding it together, and while my pelvis heals, I can't put any weight on my legs. So, still in the trusty wheelchair. Yeah. I went to the doctor's a couple weeks ago to get my stitches removed and everything, and yeah, they counted my stitches and staples. I didn't know how many I had in, but she took out the staples. There was 22 staples in my body. And then she took out the stitches. There was 12 on the table, but she dropped a few and she couldn't find them, of the stitches. So there was 12 stitches, plus probably like an extra 2 or 3, so around 14-ish stitches. And then I also had dissolvable stitches. I don't know how many there were, obviously, because they didn't get taken out. So yeah, but that was dissolvable stitches, that scar on my belly button, and then the one underneath where my boner was also dissolvable stitches. So yeah, so I don't know exactly how many I had, but it would probably be close to around 40 odd stitches and staples to keep me together. 30, 40, give or take. So that's cool. But we do have some exciting news, actually. That's the reason why I thought I'd make this video. Not only am I feeling better, but in 3 days, I go in for x-rays on my pelvis. I might be able to start trying to walk again. And I thought I'd document that, because that's a huge step for me. And as much as I wanted to document my journey, I was very low. I wasn't feeling too great. So I didn't, and plus it didn't really matter too much because I'm living in a wheelchair. You'll get bed content like this. Me yapping in bed. That would be your content. I'll get into the mental impact in a bit, but yeah, I just wasn't feeling like vlogging, so I wasn't vlogging. I was just taking my time to recover, but there's some exciting things coming up, like, yeah, I have possibly being able to walk in about 3 days, and then about 3 days after that is my birthday. My 19th birthday. So I thought, fuck it. Let's give a little update video, and let's get back to vlogging, because I miss it. The motorbike content will be gone for a while, because about a week ago too, this is the update about the arrest situation, I had a knock on my door, and the police were at my door. I was like, fuck, not again, God. But they gave me these thick pieces of paper, and it had my court date on it, which is the 20th of October, 2025. Not that long. It's pretty soon, actually. And I will most definitely lose my license. Like, for sure. There's no way I don't, because I could have gone to jail for my charges. I could still go to jail for my charges. It's my first time offending, so it's highly unlikely, but I could still, technically. But there's no way I don't lose my license. So unfortunately, the motovlogs won't be back for quite a while, because by the time I finally recover from this, I will have no license anyway. I will actually, though, at the end of that court date, get my old bike, my first ever bike, back. So I'm very excited about that, because I miss my baby. She was my first ever baby, and I miss her. She mine, and I love her. And I might be able to finally get her back. She'll need some work, because she's been in there for a while, stagnant, not moving, not even being turned on, so she's gonna be a bit rusty, but we'll get her back. But yeah, very stressful situation that one is, because I spent all my money on that second bike a week before I crashed it, so I didn't have time to get my money back up. And then I've now crashed, and I clearly can't work. I work as a cleaner in a factory to clean machines. I can't do that in this. Look, I know I still need to pay for a lawyer, and then once I pay for a lawyer, I need to then pay for the fines I get. So I really need to find out a solution to that soon, but it's my birthday in a week. It can wait a little bit, surely. Just until after my birthday. Anyway, yeah, that's my financial situation. I'm broke as shit. I have to go to court soon, and I'm crippled. So, yeah, it's great. And I haven't even been riding bikes for a year. And for half of that time, I wasn't even riding. So realistically, I've only been riding for 6 months. And somehow I've gotten arrested and almost killed myself. Because, by the way, in the hospital, I almost bled out. I lost a lot of blood, and they almost lost me. I forgot to mention that completely. But yeah, that's probably a crucial part that I should have remembered to put in, but I did not. Yeah, I almost bled out and died. Going 50 kilometers per hour into a back of a car, so yeah. But yeah, anyway, we'll go into the mental state now, because we're kind of leaning into that now. I'll get into the mental state of what that was like after the crash, because it was not good. It was not good. After that crash, I was not okay. I've been as positive as I possibly can be because that's all I can do at the moment to help myself. So unfortunately, all I can really do is eat well, sleep well, and think positively. That's all I can do. So I've been trying to think as positive as possible and act as positive as possible because I believe that if you act positive, it'll make you feel more positive. So, you know what I mean? So I was trying to be really, really upbeat about it, but it was hard. It was really hard. I struggled a lot with liking my looks growing up. And I was finally liking the way I looked. I liked the way I dressed myself. I liked the way I looked. And it felt good. And then I got in this accident and I have this massive lazy eye. I have scars. At the moment, I have a giant fucking blonde strip. You can't really see it in this lighting. But my blonde is coming back through because I dye my hair black. If you didn't know, I'm actually blonde. So, yeah, I lost friends, believe it or not. I don't know how that happened, but I lost friends after the crash. So that's fun. They don't really come and see me anymore. So, yeah, they're all busy doing their little bike shit and yeah. So I don't really have anyone come see me anymore. So that's friends missing. That I miss a lot. And then I have not much control over myself. I don't have independence. And my looks have changed. So overall, yeah, it was really low. That's why I wasn't recording videos. Because I felt so shit about myself. No friends. Well, I have friends, but less friends than usual, and I missed a couple people that I don't know, they just disappeared kinda after the crash. Which hurt a lot. And then the independence loss and the looks difference. It felt really shit. So that's why I haven't been recording. Simple as that. But we're back. Because I might be able to start walking again this week. I might finally get that independence back. I might be able to do simple things like cook myself a meal. Like, simple things like that is the little things you take for granted. Because I can't even do that. I can't even shower at the moment. I'm having to do the good old pommy wash. I know, disgusting. But that's basically, if you don't know what that is, baby wipes. I have to use baby wipes on my body because I don't fit in the shower. So that just has to do. So yeah, I'm gonna finally be going back to normal and feeling more like myself. So I thought, fuck it, let's give you guys a little update vlog and then vlog the recovery, because this bit here is kind of the boring part of the recovery. It's a bit where you can't really do much about it. All you can do is just sit there and wait and sleep well, eat well. That's about it, really. So all I have been doing this entire time is playing Descenders, actually. And forcing my girlfriend also to play Descenders. And trying to teach her was a headache. I'll put a couple clips on the screen, actually, because I got a couple clips of her being stupid. So, yeah, that's about all I've been doing this entire time, is sleeping and playing Descenders and eating food in my bed. Haven't really gone anywhere. Haven't really talked to many friends because, again, not many of them have come around since then. So, yeah, that's cool. But we have some exciting things coming up, and I want to vlog my recovery, because you guys have been here when I first got the bike. Why would I not take you guys along with this little part of the journey? Please be careful on your bikes, and look, accidents happen, and especially on a bike, you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna get hurt. I knew that when I bought my bike, so it was a bit easier for me to take the blow because I knew that it was going to happen eventually. I knew I was going to hurt myself really bad. But at the same time, it doesn't stop it from hurting. You know what I mean? But hopefully we can go back to some normality, and there's some stuff coming up. So I thought, fuck it. Let's vlog it, you know? we're getting back to normal, and I miss my vlogs. I'm not gonna lie. Ever since 2019, when I posted my first YouTube video, this has been my main hobby, my creative outlet. And not having that during this time period has been kind of weird, because I've had it for so long and it's been like a routine for me almost. Most of those older videos are taken down now because I got embarrassed one day and I was going through a crisis and I deleted them all. Biggest mistake of my life. I miss it. I miss making that my first ever video on PUBG Mobile. I remember that vividly for some reason. This has been my creative outlet and I missed it. So we're back and we're gonna keep making them, and if you don't want to watch them, you don't have to watch them, because I just enjoy making them. But if you want to stick around, subscribe. I can't believe there's already 5k of you. Like, it's insane. So yeah, I'm so grateful for you all, and I'm so grateful for all the DMs too. I got quite a few people DMing me over on Instagram. Again, go follow me on Instagram because everything kind of gets updated over there first. And yeah, so thank you for all the kind words, everyone on the community page on YouTube when I posted that thing saying I got in a crash, and then all the people over on Instagram who saw my post and yeah, was there for me, because it's incredible. But yeah, we're so back. It'll be different for quite a while too, because again, I posted mostly motovlogs for the past year and now they're gone. So it's gonna be a bit different, but we're gonna deal with mostly recovery, and then we might do some more motorbike content here and there with, again, motorbike friends, because I love my motorbikes and I love my friends. And then also when I get my bike back from the police in October. It'll be actually probably November by the time I get it back, but either way, I'll get my bike back and we'll have some more bike content then, because I'll need to figure out how on earth to solve the problems that have come with that, like the stagnant oil and the stagnant fuel and shit like that. I don't know how to do that, but we'll figure it out when we come to it. There is the little update. Thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe. Yeah, and hopefully next vlog will be very entertaining, because you'll get to see me, hopefully, try and walk. And I can move easily. Like, I'm not in any form of pain. I'm good. I just can't put any weight on it. So I'm just waiting for the clearance and we'll be good to go. So I'm pretty confident. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys up in the next video of what's going on. And yeah. Anyway, yeah. Thank you for watching. Bye.